Shut up and sit down.
Well, I want to welcome everybody to a beautiful, brand new episode. That's 229 of Third Shift. We're here. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful night, a beautiful evening here in the wonderful world of Earth. Is it Earth 1? Earth 57? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's getting to be the end of January. It's too much. I can't take it. I need this month to be over with, but it's not. So we're going to keep trucking. But without further ado, you heard him laugh, you heard him giggle. It's the mischievous little son of a gun. It's the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt, here with me today. And we're ready to rock and roll for a beautiful little episode for you boys and girls out there in the world, Earth 1 through 57 today. Matt, hey man, how's it going?
I like being the mischievous little son of a gun. That's a good one. I like that. It's nice and clean. There's no, we could do that for the family friendly episode. Who's that mischievous little son of a gun? Beastmaster works fine for you. That's perfect. Exactly. That's beautiful. And you know what? It was a beautiful day today because I stepped outside the office and I went, oh my God, the sun. What is it? I took my hat off and I went, and I baked in the sun and I walked through all the melting snow and I went, oh my God, all the ice that I was going to slip on when I went back to my car was all gone. Oh, and I got home to my apartment where I never opened the blinds ever. And I sat on my couch and the sun came through the little blind slats and it was like hot on my leg and on my couch, embraced by the warmth of home. It was a beautiful day. But this month, like you said, is the most horrible month. Quarter end, taxes, you get in the middle of all these things and like 15 little jobs that come in and everything's got to be done and everything gets all confuggled and stupid and real life sucks. But video game life is the best life. Playing Cyberpunk 2077. Oh my God. I go through so many ups and downs with that game now because I'm ready for it to be done. And I walked to that hotel where you meet up with the chick to do the end game. And I was like, I don't care about the side mission stuff. I've been doing a bunch of dumb side missions, whatever. Walked up and said, thump, point of no return. You're approaching a point of no return, son. And I went, okay, I got to do a side mission. So I got to do a side mission. I can't. I turned around and I ran. I ran down the road. I called my motorcycle. I jumped on it. And then I hit every amazing side mission that I would have missed otherwise. I hit Raymond Chandler Evening, my favorite side mission that whole game ever. Oh my God, where you're walking around and I won't spoil it for anybody, but Johnny's doing the thing. He's doing the commentary the whole time. Oh,
that was so fun. Yes, that was a good one.
So good. I was smiling ear to ear doing that one. And then just even like the dumb side missions, my character is so good in that game. It's so overpowered. I don't even have to think. I just go in my quick hack menu and time slows down. I go bzz, 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 and the ring goes and falls to the ground incapacitated. It's so good. It's so much fun. But I do get sick of those side missions sometimes. So I'm like, power through, because you're going to find that one good one. But a game I don't have to power through because I love it so much is The Outer Worlds. Got it in another stream over the weekend. That game makes me laugh more than any other game. The writing is just so good. The side comments from some of my characters as I was going through on that last stream, I wasn't expecting it. You're just talking to the quest giver, whatever, and one of your guys pops up, hey, I actually think that's pretty stupid. And what I love is that the quest giver will, it's usually the Skyrim staring straight at your face. Mm-hmm. Then they'll like look to the side and be like, excuse me, what are you talking about? Like they'll actually engage or even just like look over to even just acknowledge it. Oh, it's so good. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But that game's a ton of fun. I'm loving every second of that. And then another game I loved pretty much every second of, Katana Zero. I said on this podcast, I don't know if I'm going to go back and 100% it or anything. And I did the exact same thing that you did with Astro's Playroom. My very next playing a game session, I went, boop, tuk, 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 tuk. Oh, Katana Zero, shing, 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 shing. Oh, there's an achievement. There's an achievement. I want 100% of that game now. That game is so good. I can't wait to talk more about how weird and twisted the narrative is on that in What You Play in Third Shift, because I don't want to spoil it here. So that's where you'll get all the spoilers. But God, that game is fun and fast, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be good enough at it to beat it. So I was pleasantly surprised with myself that I got those big, long play sessions and was just storming through it, and then going back and getting all the secrets and doing all the trophies and achievements and stuff. And the other thing I really like, this is something that's not a spoiler, but it's got a dialogue system in it too. It's kind of like time dialogue, like The Walking Dead was.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is interrupt the other person's dialogue while they're talking. So on that second playthrough, I'm just mashing on the A button, and it's not like fast forwarding the conversation. He says something that's kind of like a cut you off line. And sometimes the characters will even react to it. And the first option that comes up is in red because it's an interrupt. And then if you wait for the interrupt section to be done after their dialogue finishes, then it pops in like 2 or 3 other normal dialogues. So it's fun to go through with a brand new experience, kind of, just playing a total, jerk that's interrupting people and telling them to shut up and just give me my stuff, get out of here, whatever it is he's going to say. That's a lot of fun. So I had a new experience. I mean, kind of, because you still go through the same levels, but a little bit of a twist on it. As I got the 100% in that game, just a great game. So I've crushed my New Year's resolution once, and then I crushed it again because I got into Double Dragon Neon. Because after Katana Zero, I was like, man, I need something, but I don't know what it is. And so Awesome Games Done Quick, the speedrun charity raising competition, was just like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh, a whole bunch of new speedruns. Let me put some of those on while I'm trying to decide what to play. And I put on a River City Girls speedrun. And I watched them playing that. And I was like, you know what? I need a beat 'em up. What's in my Games Pass queue? What's in there? Oh, Double Dragon Neon on the 360. Downloaded it, played through it like 1.5 times. I got halfway through before I died, so I started it all over again to level up my character. Went through all the way, smashed through the last boss, unlocked a bunch of stuff along the way. That game, I said it on Twitter, that game still holds up. That game is ridiculously fun. It's like the perfect cheesy look back at the 80s through your radical sunglasses, goggles of the original game. The characters are such dumb surfer bros. The music is all rocking like 80s ballads. And I love the fact that you can spec your character out in different ways. Like you listen to different tapes that affect your stats. And then you have different special abilities too. If you go into the menu to switch those out, a different song plays for each one of those. So as you're collecting cassette tapes to unlock these things, you can go in and actually listen to the song that plays on that cassette tape. Everything about it was great. I needed to beat 'em up. This was the over-the-top attitude of a ridiculous beat 'em up. Just what the doctor ordered. So 2 Xbox Game Pass games have now been downloaded and beaten in January. I'm smashing my New Year's resolution out of the park. Just grand slam, home run, Casey at the bat. You can suck it because I'm the best. And that was my week, man. It was a fantastic week. I haven't even talked about the other game that we played together this week, but you're going to talk about it, so I'm going to jump in then. Oh my God, Eric, how was your week, my dude?
So right before I get out on that, I'm so jealous because you got the Game Pass, you got your Xbox Series S, which means you get the medium for free.
Yes. I saw that the other day.
That is a game
yes.
I totally want to play, and I can't because I don't have an Xbox, and I don't have Game Pass. And I'm like, just sad. I'm just sad. So sad about it.
You got to roll those Eric Luck dice again and just, oh, hey, look, I just happened to get myself a Series S the next time pre-orders went up. Doodle-doo.
Yeah, and then pay the consequences of spending a few $100 more.
Hey, man, you're going to work all weekend, and we just worked a bunch of weekends.
That's
That's
true,
300
right?
extra
Yeah.
bucks.
It's easy peasy.
Yeah.
You're right. So we'll see. But I just wanted to mention that. You get to have that game free of charge. No problemo. So if it's great, boom, bonus, cherry on the cake. And if it's not so great, oh well, no skin off your back.
And it's awesome because we were talking about it last week, and I was like, that looks kind of cool, but that's not really a me game. And then I saw, oh, it's free day one. Okay, yeah, I'm going to play it. Yeah, okay.
Then you're going to love it, and I'm going to be so bad. Sucks. So anyways, what have I been playing? Well, we'll start where you did. Cyberpunk 2077. But unlike you, I finished the game. But I've already done every side mission in the game, and I've almost done all the blue missions, which are like these sub missions in the game as well. I went all out. I did every dang thing you could possibly do. It was insane. It was ridiculous. It was a great time. Like you said, some of the side stories are just meh. You just, go do the thing for me. Okay, cool. Here we go. But man, there are gems. There are gems all over the place with quests that are insane, ridiculous, weird, out of this world. I still love the AI vending machine one.
I still haven't found him.
Oh, you're insane. Did you find the clown yet?
Yes, I met the clown.
Okay, at least you met the clown. At least you got to meet Clown Man. So, I've done them all. I had a blast, but like you, I got to the point where I was done with all the side quests except for like a couple that I didn't even know I still had. So I thought I was done. So I was doing the blues and I went, okay, yeah, nah, we're good. This game's done for me. We gotta go finish it up. And then I saw that I still had like some weird ones that glitched out or just, hey, call this person. And then I was like, well, it never highlighted that I had to call this person. So I did it and then had to go wrap up a few. So anyways, that's what I did. I wrapped them up. And then I went to that point where you said it's no return. Did that. Found out there's still a huge chunk of story to go along with that point of no return thing. But it's really fun. It's really cool. It all just comes at you. Bam, 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 bam. You make a whole bunch of choices which dictate the different endings and what happens to you. And I won't spoil any of that right now. But I'll say it does give you nice clear indicators, of, hey, here's your paths. Here's what you can do. Make the choice, and then you're like, I want to do this or this or this. And then it even gives you a couple times where it lets you like kind of relapse. So if like you're like, well, I was thinking about this, and they're like, well, yeah, da 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 da. If you go down that road, da 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 da. But this person's over here, and then you can be like, yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm going with this. Or you can be like, no, I'm resolved. This is what I'm choosing. So it's kind of neat. In the story itself, it gives you a couple chances to dictate and change your mind if you want to. So I appreciate that, because otherwise it'd be your typical crap where you gotta stop playing, go look it up. What's the 3 options here? Power, love, commitment, magic. Which one's the right one? What one gets me this? No, it's pretty clear cut what one gets you what and what's gonna happen. So I took the ending that I knew was gonna be the ending I wanted, which of course, looking it up coincidentally, is supposedly the canon ending, how it's gonna go for the story if it ever continues. So I was like, all right, that's one we're gonna go with. That's one I would want to go with anyway. There was one other ending I was like, well, that one would be kind of cool to check out, but the one I wanted anyway was the best one. So that's exactly what I did, and I enjoyed it. I felt good afterwards. They do the whole rigmarole where you get to kind of capstone. Everyone gives you a ring-a-ding. Everyone gets in contact with you. You hear from them one last time. And it felt good. I was a little sad. I won't say why, but there's some moments where I'm like, well, this isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but all right, I guess.
I really hope some of those side characters pop up, because every time I open my phone, it's like, hey, call whoever or send a message to whoever. I open up the phone and I scroll past 40 people that I remember being awesome. Little side quest
you
characters,
can't call
little
them, you
bits
can't
of
do
things.
nothing.
You call them and it just goes ring, ring. Oh, well. Come on, flaming crotch man. I know you want to talk to me. I saved your bacon that day.
Yeah, well, I'm going to mildly disappoint you. Most of them don't. But there are a couple that do pop up that I wasn't expecting. And it was fun. It was neat. I won't spoil anything, but it was pretty cool. There's one problem I did have, with Pan Am, but I won't explain what, because it kind of would just give away stuff. But I'll maybe talk about it like on our, what you plan or something at some point in time when we're just spoiling everything. So for now, let me just say it was pretty good, but there's a couple little hitches, and it felt like that usual, hey, let's make this safe for a couple endings kind of deal. And it just didn't make sense with what I had done. So I was like, oh, well, all right, whatever. Doesn't matter. It was still a great time. I enjoyed the game overall. Had a good time with it.
And one last note, since we're talking about Cyberpunk, because I forgot to mention it, and I know he didn't catch it when I did it. I did a stream of Cyberpunk late night on, I think it was Thursday. It was like super late night. So Howard, you requested me to stream it. I streamed it just for you, buddy. You better appreciate it. I went through the really cool Johnny Silverhand flashback stuff. And, his lady who's beyond the wall now. That was a whole awesome thing. And I was like, I'm glad this is one of the things that's on here, because it was good.
That was a really cool segment. I enjoyed it too. Yeah. And of course she's pretty important for the story. So a lot of good stuff going on there. So beat it. I felt good. It's all over now. Goodbye Cyberpunk 2077 till DLC and all that rigmarole comes out. And then I went, well, what do I do now? So I popped in Ratchet and Clank, because I've been meaning to play that, the remake forever. Played a level or two, and I was like, man, I don't know. So I turned it off. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm sitting on my computer doing nothing. Y'all know how it goes. And then I went, Let me look. Epic Games. There's a million things in here. Short hike. And I went, somebody said something about that. What did they say? I don't remember. Okay, Metacritic. What's Metacritic score? 89, 90, something like that. It's really high. And I went, I remember somebody said something good. Whatever. Download. Get in there. And by gods, I just played the whole game.
Nice.
Just sat there for like 5 hours and just played the whole game all the way through. And you say 5 hours. I said, yeah, it's only about 4 or 5 hours. It's not. In fact, it can be like a 20-minute game. It can be, about a 20, 30-minute game if you want it to be. It's kind of what you put into it. You're on this really big island. It's pretty large for what it is. And you're this little penguin bird, and you just coming on here and you just go explore. And you want to get to the top of the peak so you can get a phone call out. What the phone call is, you don't know at the time. And your aunt who's with you, she goes, hey, she's the park ranger of this island. She's like, just go to the peak. Go check things out. And then you go. And you can help people out, other animals on the island. You can not help anybody out. You can go straight to the peak. You got to get these gold feathers that allow you to do more gliding, climbing longer, etc. You can find like ultra rare ones that allow you to climb faster. And then if you do all that, you can find shortcuts up to the peak. You can find secrets, all sorts of cool stuff. And I just got immersed into it. I was helping out the little girl. She wanted to ride around the boat. So we're rowing around the boat a bunch. The painter was having troubles finding inspiration. So I kept following him around all the different points on the island, trying to see if he was ever going to figure out what he wanted to do and just convince him that he was good at what he was doing. The park ranger lost her cell phone. Somebody lost their watch. I'm searching the island, finding that. The fisherman, he wanted to teach me how to fish. And then the boatman, he was like, hey, man, I'm collecting all these fish. If you want to find me the rare ones. So I was like, I guess I'll go find your rare fish.
Nice.
So I went ahead and found all the ponds and hidey holes and fished them and got the rare little fishies and crabs and everything else they wanted. And like I said, next thing I know, 5-ish, 6-ish hours have gone by and I went, cool. All right. And at this point, I had, I think, 16, 17 golden feathers. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even have to try to play the game. I could just literally from the base, just climb all the way up to the mountain. And then I also had like 2 of the silver feathers. So I was like, well, I think I did pretty much what I should be doing in this game. And so that's what I did. I just kind of went to like the mid base spot and I didn't even try to go up the sides and do all the little things. I just climbed the mountain. Just climbed it all the way to the top. And then it was at the top. And then I got the ending and it was fun. It was neat. Then you come back and everything you've done, you have like a little journal and it's like, hey, how was your day? And you're like, well, I did this and this. And then it just retold everything I'd done that day and helped out with and all the races I'd had, creating a brand new little game with the kids, doing all that. It was just really neat, really fun. What a way to spend a few hours of your life. And it accomplished something I had said I was going to do last year and didn't do, which was, hey, play some indie games. Look at that.
Uh-huh.
So 1 down. How many more to go? I don't know. I didn't make it a resolution this year, so.
You got 11 more to go. You got 1 a month. You could do it, Eric. You got this.
Oh, man, I got this. I already have probably 12 sitting around between Epic and everywhere else. I could probably, and there's no reason not to. Like I said, it was just 1 day. Just spend a day playing that game and having fun with it. And boom, it's bam, dame, thank you, ma'am. It's all over. So. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I was surprised by it, and I recommend it for anybody who hasn't touched it yet. And then, of course, I went back to Ratchet & Clank after that.
Uh-huh.
And I said, all right, let's try this again. I started playing. Next thing you know, into that. Now I'm at the last boss right now, about to wrap it up. And that's, a few days later. So it's not a really long game. 8-10 hours, something like that. I kind of just smoked through it, and I've got all sorts of cool guns, all sorts of bonuses. I found a lot of the secrets, did all the optionals and the planets. Even with all that, it's not a very long game. I was kind of shocked. Because, of course, nowadays the games you play are like always just super long, any of the big AAAs. So, and I'm like, Eric, this is from the throwback. They remade a game that's from way back when games that were 8 to 12 hours were kind of what the standard was, except for RPGs.
It's from 3 generations ago now, dude.
I know.
I guess it was 2 at the time, but now it's 3.
Mm-hmm. So a different time, a different era, but the remake is really good. It still stands up. But of course, that's even years old. It was 2016 when that came out. So we're already 4 years. I know, right? It's crazy. So I'm finally getting to it 4 years later, about to beat it, having a good time with it. I wish I hadn't missed it when it first hit it. I should have just played it then. But even so, whatever. You know, I'm there now. I'm about to have an ending and enjoy it and put it away. I'm not going to platinum it or do anything crazy with it. I just wanted to play it and beat it and be like, yeah. Because I am excited about the PlayStation 5 Ratchet & Clank coming out this year. So this will kind of, you know, oh yeah, I know Ratchet & Clank. Yeah, I'm in it. Yeah, I'm a fan. I like this stuff.
I was just going to mention that. I was like, I wish I had caught this one, but every time I think about playing it, I see like randomly on Twitter, hey, by the way, did you know here's a new trailer for Ratchet & Clank: A Rift Apart? And I go, oh, it looks so much better. It looks so insane and crazy. I can't play this old one. I got to get the new one. I'm drooling and I'm itching for that one. I don't even know when it comes out, but I can't wait to play it.
I'm super stoked too, and I don't think there is a release date for it, so you don't got to worry about it. It's just supposed to be first quarter, but the quarter, you know, it's coming up over in a couple months, and they haven't even talked about it, so who knows at this point. Actually, it wasn't even first quarter. It was supposed to be a launch area title, launch window, and I'm like, well, we're already out of that. What is it, 6 months of launch window? I mean, it makes no sense. Doesn't even make sense. Y'all are crazy. So, cool game, lots of fun. Now I'm in it. Now I can say I'm a Ratchet & Clank fan. And then last but not least, we played Battleborn on Friday. We were like, remember everybody? We were talking, we're going to play some Battleborn, rock it out, get through the stories, get through the ops missions, get through some PvP, all that good stuff. Well, we did all the ops missions. And then this last week we played 4? Was it 4 of the story missions?
It was 5, actually.
5 of them? I only remember 3 of them. So I'm sure we had fun. It was a great time.
We did have fun, and then we did not have fun. And then we had to have fun afterwards to make up for it. Because we were just going through 1 through 5. So we busted through the algorithm, had an amazing time. Played Void's Edge, had an amazing time. Played the Renegade, had an amazing time. And then played the Archive and had a bad time.
Yeah, that was a bad time.
I mean, I love this game, but that's the weakest story mission 100% by far. Oh my goodness.
I gotta agree. That one just kills it every time. We should have just skipped it and said we're making an exception. But oh well. So we didn't get through them all, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get through them all because we wanted to end it with the PvP session. So we might have to do a half-seas because I work for sure Saturday morning, which means Friday night is out of the books. So who knows what Saturday brings? I don't know. But, we already have our own things we do typically Saturday, Sunday. So looks like this week might be a bust, which only gives us that last weekend for Battleborn. And I still want to go out with dang PvP because
that's what's going to be the best because everybody's going to be playing it. All the pros are going to come jumping on the servers. And they're going to kick our asses so bad.
It's going to feel so good, and I'm excited. So we'll stick to it. I might maybe make an executive decision if I see any of the story missions that I really remember being freaking awesome that we didn't do. Maybe do one of them as a finale or something, but we'll see. I don't even know what's left, so.
We've only got the 3 left because we did Sentinel after Archive. So we've got the one with Boulder where you're doing his experiments. That's a big wave-based one, but that one's fun. We got the Saboteur, which is the one that either can go really good or can go really bad based on that first wave, and then the Heliophase. So that's it. We only got 3. If we did 5 last time, we can do 3 big long ones this time and get PvP in. We can do it. Or like you said, even just half see it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But regardless, everybody, we had a great time with Battleborn. It's going to be missed. Yeah. We've talked to death about it for years. Battleborn was awesome. It's too bad it got missed out. But we're going to go out and enjoy it one last time. So we'll talk about it, of course, some more once we do that PvP, once we do the rest of those stories, if we do the rest of them. But until then, that's been this week. That's been everything I've done.
Well, another thing that I did this week was I checked out a new release. Because we didn't tag team the releases this time.
Oh my god.
I found a little indie 2D point-and-click adventure game called Memoranda, which has actually been out on pretty much everything except the PlayStation. It's out on the PlayStation services now. I think it was out on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and then PC long ago. But I basically said it right there. It's a 2D point-and-click adventure game, so if you played any of those from back in the day, this is kind of the same thing. You're kind of in a magical realism world where you're in this small town, you're kind of quaint little town, but a lot of the villagers are, either got something weird going on with them, or this guy is actually a frog and he's pretending to be a human, or this is like a half animal, half human person, or he's a human trying to be an animal. All kinds of weird little twists on people, and they have weird little secrets you got to uncover. But from what I can tell, it's mostly kind of a bright and charming kind of game. I've heard there are dark elements to it. So if you're into a little bit of mystery and trying to literally solve puzzles, because it's a point and click adventure game, that's a big part of it. But, unraveling little mysteries of the characters, finding out what it is they're really about, who they really are, what they're trying to do, then this might be the game for you. The only bad things I've heard about it are maybe the story isn't the greatest, because I've heard that a lot of the characters and their moments kind of feel like separate episodes, like you're reading a short story collection instead of one big crafted narrative. The only other thing I've heard bad about it is the puzzle's really hard and they're really obtuse, and sometimes you gotta take this item from like 2 hours ago and then rub it with this other item, and then, that solves the puzzle and I didn't understand it. That's a 2D point and click adventure game for you. That's what it is. But what really attracts me to this game is the art style. You really gotta see it for yourself, see it in motion. I think the only comparison I've heard from one of the reviews was it seems like a French animated movie. It has that sort of realistic style, but everything's kind of a little angular. I don't know. You really got to see it in motion to see what it looks like. But anytime I watch footage of this or reviews of it, it makes me want to play it. So check out Memoranda. At least check out the footage. And if you like what it looks like, then just know this is a traditional 2D point-and-click adventure game. It's going to come with all that stuff. But if you like the look of it, if you like the sound of that world where you're dealing with mysterious magical creatures and trying to uncover mysteries in that little town, then definitely check it out. It's either out now or coming out very, very soon on the PlayStation Store. Like I said, find it on anything else right now and have yourself a great time.
You can have a great time there in Fantasyland with monsters and magic and all sorts of weird crap going on. Or you can go into the real world, all right? The real world that EO Interactive created for you in the brand new hit title, Hitman 3. Title, Hitman 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was good. It came out January 20th, so it's fresh. It's hot off the presses. It's on everything. It's on the old Xbox, the new Xbox, the old PlayStation, the new PlayStation Stadia, blah, blah, blah. Nintendo Switch, for goodness sakes, everybody. You can play this anywhere. PlayStation VR, you can play even the old ones, not the new ones, but the old ones, because guess what? If you buy like the big edition here, you get 1 and 2 packed in with its special operative missions, and you can tie your game in if you played in the old ones to where you get all the special stuff and unlocks, etc. that go with it. I wouldn't know all of that in detail because I don't like stealth games. So it feels kind of bad for me to really talk about Hitman 3 because I don't even really like stealth games that much. And Hitman 3, if you haven't guessed, is a stealth game. It's a stealth game in its truest, coolest form. It puts you in this particular title, 6 different missions with an epilogue included, very different locales every time. You're Agent 47 once again finishing out his story, because yes, this is the finale of Agent 47 and what his old spiel about getting back at the yahoos have been controlling things, blah, 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 blah. But what I do appreciate, and they've done this before and they're doing it again, is every time you go on a new mission, it's a whole different area, a whole different thing going on, whole different scenario. And of course, everybody, if you've listened to any podcast or any of the big game, outsides, they're like, hey, mission 2 in particular is crazy because you're doing this whole freaking, whodunit mission. You go in and you can pretend you're the detective and you got a murder mystery on your hands. You got to figure out who did it, all the while trying to make sure you get to your objective, which is of course take out somebody. It's super crazy. It's super cool. And the locales, I was looking at pictures and everything. Every place is very different from the last one. Very unique, very colorful in its different ways. Just gorgeous looking game. But like I said, I just don't like sneaking around. I don't like sitting there in one room. And this is what you do in this game. Staring at walking patterns and routines and all sorts of crap. Planning out how you're going to take down your objective for hours at a time and just... Yeah, I can't do that. I just want to go in and blow faces off. And you can do stuff like that in this game. But it's not the way you're supposed to play this game. It's not. The way you're supposed to play this game is to plan it. And that's the other beautiful part. It doesn't, I don't mean plan it in the one specific way they designed for you. Because Hitman has always been designed, and especially in this one, for you to have multiple ways to complete your objective. You can go through all sorts of different ways and come out with the same outcome or a slightly different outcome, but it all works out. You can, like Matt said, you can go in blazing, go in ridiculous with it if you want to, but that's like the bare bones. You do it, but that's not what this game was supposed to be for you. But hey, we wanted to give you that option. So I don't recommend anybody who just loves blasting faces, killing everybody, to come get this one. It's definitely for the thinking man, thinking girl, thinking woman, whatever, to come in and just really want to ponder what you're supposed to do and then come up with these crazy, fun, cool, inventive ways to get to the objective, take out the objective, and see if it works. That's what Hitman's all about. And not even really the story. I mean, the story is, man, your typical, Hitman's getting abused and used, and he's going to fight against the system. And we've heard it before. It's fun, but it's used. So I've heard nothing but good about it. I've heard it's amazing. I don't know, Matt, have you had any experience with Hitman in the past? I know you're more fond of stealth games than I am.
Oh, what I'm sad about is I own Hitman 1 of the new version of it, and I've never played it. And Hitman 2 came out, and I was like, damn, I need to play Hitman 1. Now Hitman 3's out. I still haven't played it. But I am a huge fan of the Hitman series going back to PS2 and Xbox days. So, I mean, I love the series, and one of the things I love most about it is it's not a traditional stealth game, like hide in the shadows and just wait for the guard to pass. It is a little more active, like you said. When you grab a disguise, you can walk around, you grab a police officer's disguise, you can walk through the cop areas and then see what they can see and what other tools you can use. The thing I love most about it is what I'm excited for Deathloop for is that as you go through these levels once or twice or three times, you can kind of see what your target does. And so if you affect that first stop he makes, now you get to see what happens when, the chandelier falls and he runs. Where does he run to? Now you can set up a trap over there the next time. And then, it's, you put a bomb in his safe room and it blows up. And now nobody has any idea because who could have done it? Or like you said, you can just run up and syringe him in the neck and throw him in the closet. All kinds of different stuff. I love the little pulling the strings game you can do in Hitman. I love it.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about trying new things, pulling strings, messing around, getting creative, taking out the baddies or goodies. It doesn't matter. You're an assassin. That's the whole point of this game. So handle business how you, mostly baddies. But whatever. A couple maids or waiters, something fall. It's okay.
They got in my way. I can't do it.
That's right. You couldn't help it. Couldn't be helped. So it's a fun game. Looks really cool. Just not for me. But I do encourage you, if that's something up your alley, to go check it out because, man, it does look really sharp. And it's the end of the whole series, which are typically always fun and a good romp to get through and just a nice closure for it. And before we go into the little old bits, I do want to mention to you, Mr. Matt, You said Deathloop. And I saw a little thing today about Deathloop and how they're like, hey, we told you guys how you're going to be able to go in and kind of get their patterns by doing the loops over and over and kind of figure out what's up and what's going on and then get a strategy to make sure you can make sure, I know they're going to be here and doing this, so I'll pick this and do this. Well, they said, we're not going to let that just be the way it works, though.
Awesome.
We're going to have this thing called deja vu, where every once in a while, the character you thought he was going to go to the room and get killed by you is going to have deja vu and go, I feel like I've done this and I got killed. And they're just all of a sudden going to change their pattern out of the blue.
Yes.
And so once in a while, it ain't going to work out the way you wanted it to work out or the way you thought it was going to work out. So I thought that was a really cool addition to the game and made it even more unique and cool and just fun.
I can't wait for that time. I'm like up on the rafters waiting to drop down on somebody and they go, oh, hang on, wait a minute. And they like dart away and I have to use all my crazy powers and guns and just go chasing after him in a wild rampage. And
then it's a whole new loop.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's going to be so good. Oh, I don't even want to talk about the rest of this stuff. I just want to somehow play Deathloop right now. Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness. And of course, with that little snippet, I will mention that I did see the Resident Evil Village has a brand new demo only for PS5 users right now. I don't know what it's about yet. It's something about the maiden. So it's not going to be, you're not the protagonist, but I'm super curious to check that out. I just want to throw that out there, everybody. Go look at it if you're interested in Resident Evil. I am. I'll be checking it out. I probably won't play it because it's the new Resident Evil with all these non-zombie things and creatures and not what I'm interested in, but because of the name, I always have to at least give it a shot.
Mm-hmm, that's right. And it's been a hard week. It's been a rough week. It's going to be a short episode, but one thing we always got to give a shot to, I got to give this a shot. I got to do, I got to get in maybe put my hood up and get in the mood and be like, hey guys, it's time for my favorite part of the show. So we got shift codes for Golden Keys, Borderlands, the Game of the Year edition. So hit up the Twitter, the Red Force, the Instagram, hit up your preferred shift code provider, get yourself some free loot. And we got a hot fix at Borderlands 3 this week. A little Clear Skies mini event. Oh, it's going to be smooth sailing in that arms race mode that I played the one time and didn't have fun with because it was halfway broken. But maybe I'll try it again because now that encroaching murder cane, it does it a little bit slower and the enemies drop better loot. So it could be a good time, you know?
That's a pretty win-win. And of course, while we're doing that, we have to be sad because the co-op loot is all over. So we don't get the stack on stack on stack on stack on loot, which would have been just chef's kiss. But I will say, I am excited to give this one a shot. Give the arms race a shot with the whole slower ring in and even less damage from it, and of course the extra loot. It just sounds like a win-win and a nice spot for us to get back in there and try it again. And with Battleborn coming up on the end and everything else, I think we should get back to those characters for sure.
And I think they said this was the start of a little series of arms race mini events. Didn't they say there were going to be 2 other ones the next few weeks?
There'll be 2 more. Correct.
So it's perfect for me because they heard that old Uncle Matt had a bad time with his glitchy game that first time. They're like, let's just get him back in here. It'll be fun. So you and I will do that. It'll be good times.
And of course, they did a few bug fixes here and there. A lot of stuff it looks like with the new Series X and S and PlayStation 5. That kind of that shift over. There's some bugs here and there with vibration of the controls, all that. If you want to know about it, go check it out. They did increase the damage on a few weapons and whatnot as well. None that I particularly use, so it was just like, okay, cool beans.
Yeah, pretty much the same boat. My one legendary that I definitely remember because I always used it was my OPQ system. That wasn't in here, so I don't care about these guns. What is this? Get out of here.
Hey, we're coming up again. We're going to be going to that February, and we're going to get that Valentine's event, so cartel's coming.
I'm going to have to get an OPQ system for my Amara, and then I can just use that gun with her forever.
Forever. Yep. That'll be the end of it. You'll be good to go. All done. Yes, indeed. So that was it. That was the end of the old Gearbox update, fix, hot patch notes for Borderlands 3. It's been kind of quiet. Honestly, there's not much going on. Everybody should know if you're into gaming and everything that January, February typically aren't real big with all sorts of cool, crazy news and happenings. I am curious to see what Gearbox is cooking. They've been kind of quiet. I mean, I know they got the 2 DLCs this year, but then one they've already released, one coming up, and they said that's not quite all, but we don't know what that means in any detail. We know they're working on some unlisted game at this point. Can't even speculate. So just I don't know. Brothers in Arms has been something they've apparently been working on for 6 years now. I don't. Last I heard, it was only supposed to take 2 to 4 years to make a game. But with Gearbox, I guess, maybe it's 8 to 12. Who knows?
I don't even know. But you know what? I will say they've been knocking it out of the park lately. So as hard as we have been on them in the past, in a loving way, whatever they do, I'm going to be looking forward to it because it's going to be awesome. Like Battleborn was awesome. Like Borderlands 3 was awesome. Like all the DLCs have been awesome so far. Mm-hmm. So keep doing what you do in Gearbox. Just get it to me just a little bit sooner. I just gotta have the fresh hotness.
Or just give me and Matt the little snippets. That's all.
Yes, yeah.
Give us those snippets, and we'll feed them out to the populace as we see fit, and it'll work for all of us. We'll be happy. You're happy. The whole world's happy.
Exactly. Yes. So, what are you happy about out there in podcast listener land? Let us know via the email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @thirdshiftme, and then I said it before. Just blow the dust off of the Facebook. You find us on Facebook under Third Shift.
Oh, we're rocking and rolling on that Facebook, man. There's all sorts of corruption over there, all sorts of people watching everything you post, giving you ads for all the things. It's good stuff, man. I mention anything and all of a sudden I have ads for it. It's so cool. Facebook, you're doing great. I'm so glad you're listening. But if you don't want people listening, you can head on over to that Patreon. Because Patreon don't got no spy cams going on. I don't think anyway. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm lying to you. Either way, I do want you to go over there and consider throwing us a tip. $1, $2, $3. As I said, it's a little old tip jar. Keeps the lights on, keeps the pod beans happy, keeps all the little old things we got to pay for happy. And so far, all of you that have contributed have been doing a freaking fantastic job of keeping everything running for us. We super appreciate it. You're all wonderful and amazing. And you haven't, hey, guess what? Maybe comes out and plays and do some stuffs with us, like the mailbags, the Facebooks, the Twitch, all the things, something, anything, hey?
You lost your Russian accent, friend.
I know.
What do you do?
Went in and
Are you
going
to tell everybody next episode? Drop on the 28th. Catch us on the iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and on the YouTubes. And as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to check us out, please hit up the like, the rating, review, comment, subscription, any kind of good thing on the good services. My accent is not very good, but it helps us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Well, you talk like that, and I want to go play the Metro Exodus again.
There you go, my good friend.
Oh, goodness, that's terrible. You know what? Let's get out of here. Hey, y'all enjoy the week, and we'll see you next time, of course.
Because there's nothing else to say. Good comrades out there. But do not forget to say...
Shut up and sit down.